Hello everyone, welcome to Elements of Machine Design lecture. Today we are going to discuss about design of hand lever. So one by one we will see all parts of the hand lever, how it works, and then we will see design of hand lever. So here you can see two-dimensional view of hand lever. This is a front view and this one is the top view of a hand lever. Which are all parts? Let us see first of all various parts of the hand lever. This one is a spindle or a shaft which needs to be turned. We are going to turn it. We are not going to continuously rotate it. By certain degree we want to just turn it. So this is the shaft to be rotated or turned. This is the shaft which is overhang shaft, which is enlarged shaft also, and that shaft is supported in the bearings. This part is a rectangular key which transmit motion from boss to the shaft. This outermost part is a boss. And this is a lever which is of rectangular cross section and its width is tapered. At this end width is B and on the other side width is B by 2. This one is a handle to operate the lever and we are going to apply the effort at the end of the handle. These are various dimensions. One by one we will see all the dimensions. Diameter of the spindle or a shaft is D. Enlarged diameter supported in bearing is D1. Diameter of boss is D2. Length of boss is L2. Width, thickness and length of key is W, T1 and L1. Thickness and width of lever is small t and capital B. And handle is having fixed dimensions which we need to mention at the end of the design. Now here you can see this is the pictorial view which is made for your better understanding how hand lever looks like. This part is a spindle to be turned. This is enlarged spindle. This is a bearing. Blue color is a boss. And you can see here, friends, this one is a rectangular key. This is a tapered lever. And this one is a handle. Why lever will be tapered? Because we want here more strength of the lever because it gets subjected to failure at this section. There we require more strength. And to reduce the weight, we keep the lever tapered. At this end width is less and this end it will be more. Thickness is kept constant. And this part is a handle. We are going to apply effort here. From effort point to center of the shaft, length of the lever is known as effective length of lever L. So let us see one by one all parameters. P is the effort applied at the end of the lever. L is the effective length of the lever. Small l is the overhang length of the shaft supported in the bearings. D is diameter of shaft. D1 is diameter of shaft supported in bearings. D2 is outer diameter of boss. L2 is length of boss. T is thickness of lever. B is the width of lever near the boss. W, T1 and L1 is width, thickness and length of key. Sigma T and tau are permissible tensile and shear stress of the material. So now let us see design procedure of hand lever. As you can see that from the previous diagram, when we are applying the effort at the handle, that will turn the shaft by certain angle, maybe 45 degree, 90 degree. So this shaft will be subjected to twisting moment. This overhang shaft also will be subjected to twisting moment. Overhang shaft, because it is overhanging, support is here, there is no support at the upper end. So overhang shaft also will be subjected to bending moment like this way. So when we design overhang shaft, it will be subjected to twisting as well as bending moment both. And this shaft will be subjected to twisting moment. So now let us see our first step to find diameter of shaft D. As I told you that it will be subjected to only twisting moment. Twisting moment on the shaft T is equal to P into L. Resisting torque which will be developed on the shaft, that is pi by 16 tau d cube. If we compare both equations, then T is equal to pi by 16 tau d cube. Using this equation, we can find the diameter of shaft D. Second step is the dimensions of boss. There is no failure of boss as such which we will be considering. So we will use here empirical relations for dimensions of boss. Outer diameter of boss is 1.6 times D and length of boss is 1.25 times D. If overhang length is not given to us, then we'll be taking it as 2 times length of boss. Third step is to find the diameter of overhang shaft. As I told you in previous slides that overhang shaft is subjected to both twisting and bending moment. So our design will be based on combined twisting and bending moment. Twisting moment is equal to P into L, capital L, and bending moment will be P into overhang length. Using this T and M, we will be finding equivalent twisting moment, and that formula is based on maximum shear stress theory. So we get equivalent twisting moment as under root m square plus t square. After substituting values, we get this equation. Resisting torque for overhang shaft is pi by 16 tau max d1 cube. Comparing both equations, TE is equal to pi by 16 tau max d1 cube. From this equation, we will be able to find diameter of overhang shaft. But that diameter, we will be taking slightly larger than the supported diameter to make it more stronger. That we will see in numericals. Fourth step is the design of key. We can see here that half of the key is there in the shaft depth wise and remaining half thickness is there in the boss. When we apply the force on the lever or effort on the lever, it may happen that boss may turn but shaft may not turn because of shear failure of the key. So key gets subjected to single shear failure. Half thickness of the key remains inside the shaft and remaining half will remain inside the boss. Boss will turn but it will not rotate the shaft because of shear failure of key. So let W is the width of key, T is the total thickness of the key, and L1 is the length of key. We have to use empirical relations for fixing the dimensions of width and thickness. This empirical relation is W is equal to D by 4 and thickness T1 is equal to D by 6. In industries, there are standard tables available for fixing the dimensions of width and thickness, and we have to select the width and thickness based on the table for a diameter of shaft. Here we'll be using this empirical relations. Considering shear failure, which we can see from the diagram, tangential force which will be acting, that will be at the circumference. So torque will be equal to Ft into radius, that is d by 2. Tangential force is equal to area of a failure into shear stress. So our equation of torque will become area into shear stress, that is the tangential force, into d by 2. That comes the torque equation. Using this equation, either we can find the length of key or else we can find the shear stress induced in the key material. If we want to find shear stress induced in the key material, then we need to use empirical relationship that length of the key will be slightly larger than the length of the boss. For holding length is required. So length of the key will be L2 plus 15 mm. And if we use this relationship, we can find tau induced from this equation. Otherwise, we can find length of the key from this equation. So that is about the design of key. Last point is design of lever. So we can see here, students, that lever is like a cantilever supported at the boss and loaded at the other end. So bending moment will be equal to P into length. But bending failure will not be at this center. It will be here at this XX section, which is at distance radius of boss from the center. So if we consider that XX section, then equation of bending moment will be P into L minus radius of boss. And as you can see, friends, that lever is of rectangle section. So section modulus for rectangular section for YY axis is TB square by 6. So design of cross section of lever, considering bending failure of lever near the boss, let T is the thickness of the lever and B is the width of the lever near the boss. Bending moment equation, as I explained before, is M is equal to P into L minus radius of boss, and section modulus Z about YY axis is TB square by 6. RB is the radius of boss, which will be D2 by 2. If we want to calculate the section of the lever, that is thickness and breadth, we have to use the equation of a bending stress. Sigma B is equal to M upon Z. Substituting values of M and Z and knowing the values of sigma B, P, L, RB, and using relationship between T and B, we can find the thickness of the lever and width of the lever. We need to use some relationship between breadth and thickness, like we can use either B is equal to 2T, 3T, 4T, etc. So this is all about the design procedure, students. For your easy understanding, full design procedure is converted into the tabulated form. So here first column is indicating serial number. Second is about the name of the part and parameters to be found. Third step is which failure is considered. And fourth step is a strength equation. So first step, as let us quickly revise. First step is to find the diameter of shaft D considering pure torsion. Torque is equal to P into capital L, and that torque will be equal to pi by 16 tau D cube. We can find D. Second is a Morse dimensions, empirical relations D2, L2 and L. We can find using these equations. Third is diameter of overhang shaft D1 considering combined twisting and bending moment. We can find the D1 by using this equation TE is equal to under root M square plus T square, that is based on MSST, that is maximum shear stress theory. Design of key. So first we will find width and thickness of key by using empirical relations, and then considering shear failure, either we can find length of key or shear stress induced. And the last step is to find cross section of lever considering bending failure near the boss. So using this equation of bending moment and section modulus, when we use the equation sigma b is equal to m upon z, and we need to use some relationship between breadth and thickness, we will be able to find first thickness of lever, and then we can find breadth of lever. So it was design procedure of hand lever. Next lecture, we will discuss about the numerical of hand lever. Thank you very much, students.